Okay, so what we're gonna do now is to see how we can make use of the Aspen Plus capabilities of doing of having the thermodynamic data bank and the information about the components to get more information about them. So we said before that we can do this review in the components section, and from this review we can get more information about the components like the boiling points, the melting point. We can get the critical temperature, specific volume, and all this information, but we can get even more from Aspen Plus. And to get this, we can find here this button of the pure this analysis tab is pretty important and pretty useful. So and this is gonna be the topic of the next few videos, is to see what this analysis tab does. So we will go first for pure component. And as you see, when you put the mouse here, it tells you generates tables and plots of pure component properties as function of temperature and pressure. So I have two parameters that I change, the temperature and pressure, and based on these parameters we can get any kind of information. So it's asking me what's the model, and I have only an RTL because this is the one that I chose here in the methods section. This is the list of components, and I can pick which component that I'm interested in. So I can be interested in water and methanol and or ethanol, and these are pure components. The properties are going to be calculated for each one of them separately. And here in the properties, you can find that it tells there are some thermodynamic properties, there are some transport properties. The thermodynamic properties, we will find that there are the availability of your component. Is it available to be found as pure component or not? The CP, this is the CV, the heat capacity at constant volume. You can find the something like the DH, which is the department, the enthalpy departure. You can find something like the Gibbs free energy of pure component. You can find the enthalpy. You can find the internal energy. There are a lot of thermodynamic properties that are available here. So I'm going to pick any one of them. For instance, the specific volume or the volume of pure component. And what are the units? I'm gonna use anything like liter per minute. So this is the volume, not the specific volume. If I'm looking for the specific volume, it's gonna be I don't know. Um, it might not be here. Um, Anyways, we can like go for the volume now, for instance, and then see what we get. And we can check which phases that I'm interested in. I'm interested in the liquid phase. The temperature range, I'm gonna start from 0 to 100 with 50 intervals. I can change it if I'm interested. And the pressure, I can only pick one pressure here. So I'm gonna go for 1 atmosphere, which is 1.013 bar. And once I'm ready, I can run the analysis. And what it's gonna do, I just want you to think how many calculations are gonna be done. Before looking at the results, I have two components, and for each component I have 50 points, so I have 100 calculations, and 100 thermodynamic calculations, and they are done using a thermodynamic model, which is not easy to do the calculations using this model. So it's not an easy thing to do. And what we see here, the volume of the liquid water is here, and the liquid of ethanol is yeah, this is the liter per minute for water and for ethanol. We can change it. You can, for instance, look for something like enthalpy, for instance, and run the analysis. It's as easy as this. You don't need to do anything. Just pick the model or the property that you're interested in, and it's gonna do everything. So it's enthalpy in calories per mole, and you see this is for water and this is for ethanol. Let's say I want to find or find the numbers that were used to do the calculations. For instance, I want to use them to do the plotting using some other software, or because yeah, this is one important point. I cannot print this in high quality plot. What we can do is to take a screenshot and save it as an image, so you are bounded with the resolution of the screen, which is the quality of the figure. But if you want to get the results to plot them, you can find them here in the results tab. It's gonna give you all the data as temperature and the pressure and the liquid enthalpy of water, the liquid enthalpy of ethanol, and you see everything is available here. You can take the data and plot them on other software. You can do one more thing, which is zooming in here. So for instance, I want to take a closer look at this part of the plot, or any part of the plot. I can just highlight this area and right click and zoom in, and it's gonna give you the data that are available here. And you see that for it's not clear here. There is behind my picture, there is a zooming tab, so you can zoom in or zoom out if you want to do that. You can change the scale from temperature from Celsius to Kelvin. You can the property from units to units. It's totally fine. This is something that Aspen Plus can do. You can change the font size. You can make it bold, make it underlined. I mean italic, make it underlined. You can change the scale from linear to logarithmic. It's totally up to you. You can you have the freedom to do anything like that. And you can change the minimum and maximum value, the interval of the grid. It gives you a lot of flexibility. And here in the property, you can it's not doing anything anyways, so it's not gonna do anything here. It can do in other parts. So back to the analysis. Again, I just chose the property that I'm interested in, and it did it. Let's take a look at the transport properties. You find that this is the CP, the heat capacity. You can find thermal conductivity. You can find the entropy of ideal gas. You can find there are not a lot of them, but they are kind of useful information. This is all for this part. And I'm gonna continue or start with the binary, which is even more interesting in the next video, inshallah. So I'll see you then.